So we were doing graphs, right? कौन सा ग्राफ किया मैंने? We did distance time graph, velocity time graph.
Yes.
That also we did. Okay. Can you show me till where we did? Okay. Distance time graph also we did velocity. So area under the graph gives displacement of the body, nature of motion. Okay. So we have done this. So I'll just to quickly revise, I'll show you some graphs. You have to tell me what is the nature of motion. Okay. So what graph is this? S means T means time. So if the graph is this, it's parallel line, not like this. Graph parallel to time axis. What does it tell you?
Bodies at rest.
Good, very good. So this is body at rest. Okay. If the graph is like this, ST graph.
Uniform velocity.
Uniform velocity. So it will have V equal to constant area, constant slope. Slope is constant, so V constant. What is V here?
V is
What is slope? Zero. No slope. No. Slope means some inclination. Plane, no slope. Slope. Okay. Then if the graph is like this, what does this mean?
uniform.
Retardation कहाँ से आएगा? Velocity is changing.
Velocity is decreasing.
Displacement. It is going backward motion in the opposite direction. So it is velocity in the, it's negative velocity. It is negative. Constant velocity, but it is minus. Slope is minus, no? देखो, अब समझो 5, 10, 20, ठीक है? So if you take this velocity, let's say I take this velocity. ठीक है? तो slope क्या होगा यहाँ? What is, this is T2, this is T1. T2 will give me V2 here, T1 will give me V1 here. The slope is always V2 minus V1 upon T2 minus T1. So in this case, V2 is less than V1. The V2 less than V1 will give negative velocity, which means object traveling in opposite direction. Here object is going away from the origin. See? Here the object is with time going towards the origin. So motion is in the opposite direction. Okay. So this is displacement time graph. Now let's do velocity time graph. What is this? What is the nature of motion here?
No acceleration.
Means
Uniform acceleration.
no acceleration, then you are saying uniform acceleration. No acceleration means what about V?
V is constant.
Which means?
Constant velocity.
Which means?
Uniform velocity.
Uniform motion. This is uniform motion. Whenever v is constant, the motion is uniform. So here v is constant. Therefore, acceleration 0. There is no acceleration, but it has constant velocity. Therefore, this represents uniform motion. Okay. Then the next. What about this?
Uniform acceleration.
So this is uniform acceleration. A equal to constant. Slope constant. What about this?
Uniform retardation.
Yes, now you got it. So this is uniform retardation. So A is negative. Slope is negative. Here slope is 0. Okay. So this is the nature of motion. Then what about this?
Non-uniform acceleration.
Yes. What about this? Slope is decreasing. So acceleration is
Decrease.
decreasing. So it is
Uniform.
decelerating. Okay. So this is non-uniform.
Non-uniform acceleration. Non-uniform motion.
Non-uniform.
Retardation.
Non-uniform acceleration here also. It is increasing only, but now it is here. Initially acceleration was less, then acceleration increased. In this case, initially acceleration was more. Now acceleration is reduced.
So
Both are non-uniform acceleration only.
but in the second one, there is non-uniform acceleration.
So everywhere the slope is positive only, no? As long as slope is positive. So for retardation, what you should get? Should be like this. See here, everywhere the velocity is increasing. Now velocity is constant when it becomes zero slope. Till here velocity was increasing only. But in this case, retardation में velocity decrease होना चाहिए. Now the velocity is decreasing for the first time. Okay. So there could be many kind of situations possible. तुमको simple ही आएगा. ज़्यादातर सब uniform case है. तुम्हारे को जो भी case है सब कैसा है? ऐसा. खाली ग्राफ के क्वेश्चन में ऐसा आ सकता है just to identify the nature of motion. वैसे यहाँ पे भी अगर डिस्प्लेसमेंट टाइम अगर ऐसा है तो ये क्या होगा? This was uniform motion, so this becomes non-uniform curve. Now area under the graph is displacement. तो हम लोग न्यूमेरिकल करेंगे तब सीखेंगे उसके बाद. यही चीज हमने नहीं किया था, अभी हमने इसको भी कर लिया. अब एक लास्ट ग्राफ है एक्सीलरेशन टाइम का. ठीक है, ये क्या सेकंड. तो अब देखो इसमें तुम्हारा एक ये ग्राफ ये कौन सा मोशन बता रहा है ग्राफ?
At rest.
एट रेस्ट. ये क्या है यहाँ पे?
Acceleration.
कितना है? रेड ये है ना ग्राफ. कितना है ये? 0 है ना इधर y एक्सिस पे। एक्सीलरेशन 0 मतलब वेलोसिटी क्या हो गया?
कांस्टेंट।
तो अगर बॉडी इनिशियली रेस्ट पे है तो भी एक्सीलरेशन 0 हो सकता है, लेकिन यहाँ पे v कांस्टेंट भी मान सकते हो और v इक्वल टू कांस्टेंट, दोनों केस पॉसिबल है इस केस में। तो मोस्टली अगर मोशन में है तो इट विल बी यूनिफॉर्म मोशन या फिर एट रेस्ट। जब बॉडी मूव ही नहीं हो रही तो भी तो एक्सीलरेशन 0 होगा, या फिर अगर मूव हो रही है यूनिफॉर्म मोशन में तो v कांस्टेंट हो तो भी एक्सीलरेशन 0 होगा। दो सिचुएशन, ठीक है। फिर एक दूसरा मोशन है, ये क्या हुआ? ये क्या मोशन है? हाँ, ये कांस्टेंट है, मतलब ये कौन सा मोशन हुआ?
यूनिफॉर्म
यूनिफॉर्म
एक्सेलरेशन।
हाँ, यूनिफॉर्म एक्सीलरेशन। यूनिफॉर्म एक्सीलरेशन, ठीक है। अच्छा, अब अगर ये वाला मोशन ले लो मैं, 3 ग्राफ है इसके अंदर, ये क्या होगा?
यूनिफॉर्म रिटार्डेशन।
हाँ, दिस इज यूनिफॉर्म रिटार्डेशन। यूनिफॉर्म रिटार्डेशन, okay. So then we have motion under gravity. I have already covered or no? No. So motion under gravity. So this is Earth's gravity. It is also called free fall motion. So motion under gravity could be two types, downward and upward. Two types of motion are possible. So in downward motion or free fall it is. Okay. Downward motion, the object will come and fall on ground. So its initial speed will be 0. Then whatever is the distance, that was its height. So S becomes equal to H. Then it will fall with G, which is 9.8 meter per second square. Always whenever object falls under Earth's gravity, the acceleration A क्या हो जाता है? G, और displacement S क्या हो जाता है? H. बस ये दो चीजें। और यहाँ when it hits the ground, it will hit it with velocity v. So it will have some non-zero velocity. At the top, it has 0 velocity. Now, if you throw some object above, now it will have some u. ठीक है? Initially इसको कुछ velocity देना पड़ेगा. मतलब तुम्हारा ground है. Then अब इसमें acceleration due to Earth is still in the downward direction only. लेकिन अभी क्या लगेगा? माइनस। एक्सीलरेशन का साइन क्या हो जाएगा? -9.8। तो फिर जब ये ऊपर जाएगा, अभी रिटार्ड होते होते मैक्सिमम हाइट पे इट्स फाइनल वेलोसिटी विल बिकम 0 because it is retarding. No? Whatever speed with which you threw the object will be its maximum speed, and then during the travel its speed is continuously reducing. Okay? So what is the maximum height now? H. Is that clear? So these are the things. Then the other motion could be upward and downward motion. When you it's not like you throw any object, it is not going to stay there. It will fall back. Okay? So you can divide the upward and downward motion in two parts. So here it is U, and top पे V equal to 0. When it comes down, ठीक है? अब यहाँ पे दोस्तों U2 बोल दो, ये 0 हो गया। अब यहाँ पे V2, ठीक है? तो ये सिमेट्रिक मोशन होता है। यहाँ से गया ये ऊपर, ये मोशन सिमेट्रिक है। सिमेट्रिक का मतलब क्या हुआ? जो स्पीड से ऊपर फेंका था, नीचे वही स्पीड से आएगा। जो स्पीड से ऊपर फेंका था, नीचे उसी स्पीड से गिरेगा। जितना हाइट पे ये गया, वही हाइट पे तो नीचे आएगा, एच भी सेम होगा। ऊपर जाने के लिए समझो उसको t1 टाइम लगा, नीचे आने के लिए उसको कितना टाइम लगेगा? सेम टाइम लगेगा। यहाँ पे हाइट, इधर भी डिस्प्लेसमेंट h है और ये t2 है, मतलब so t1 is equal to, इस केस में क्या होगा? t1 is equal to u1 is equal to v, ऐसे होगा। वैसे तो मोशन को दो पार्ट में डिवाइड करो, हमेशा टॉप पे स्पीड 0 ही होगी, चाहे इनिशियल या फाइनल, ठीक है? अपवर्ड मोशन में यहाँ पे अब इधर डाउनवर्ड हो गया, इधर ये अपवर्ड था, तो इस केस में जी नेगेटिव होगा ऊपर जाने में, इस केस में जी पॉजिटिव होगा। समझ गए? तो न्यूमेरिकल में जहां पे भी फुल मोशन है अपवर्ड डाउनवर्ड, उसको दो पार्ट में डिवाइड करके सॉल्व करो, आंसर जल्दी है। तो फ्री फॉल मोशन में क्या होता है? फ्री फॉल मोशन when object is moving only under Earth's gravity, that motion is called free fall motion. ठीक है? ये when object moves only under effect of gravity, it is said to be falling freely. ठीक है? Is when object moves only under the influence of Earth's gravity. ठीक है? ये हो गया फ्री फॉल मोशन। तो ये कुछ लिखना है तो लिख ले, मोशन ये जो अलग अलग इलस्ट्रेशन बनाए हैं मैंने, और ये एक्सेलरेशन, या तुमको नोट्स में समझ में आ रहा है तो नोट खोल के देखो, but I would prefer that you write it. वहाँ पे क्या लिखो, इसको 0 करो। So the path is also same, right? It's not different. If I am throwing the object straight up, it will come down straight down. So it's not different path. So, but I have broken it into two different motions. So you can actually show it like two different motions. Like it's like two identical balls, one thrown up and one dropped down at the same time, something like that. Correct? These graphs you didn't draw, right? Acceleration diagram. Not required. Huh? Done? Okay. Next is we will derive the equations of motion graphically. So you know what are the equations of motion? Hmm? No. For a motion of body in a straight line, uniform acceleration. Okay. For a motion of body in a straight line with uniform acceleration, we have ये relation है v is equal to u plus at, s is equal to ut plus half at square, v square minus u square is equal to 2as. So there are these three equations of motion which give you the relation between final velocity, initial velocity, the uniform acceleration and the time. Okay? So there are three equations of motion which describe the motion in a straight line. So we will now derive these equations. So derivation of above equations of motion graphically. Okay? So for this we'll consider a VT graph. We'll consider a VT graph. And at time t equal to 0, when we started observing the motion, the object had velocity u at time t equal to 0. Then at some later time, its velocity became v. Okay? At some later time. Okay? So at time t equal to 0, its velocity was u. And at time t equal to t, let's say this is the time t. At that time, its velocity became v. Understood? Yeah, this is time. And this is velocity. Okay, this is straight. Clear? Now let's find out the relation. So from graph, since a is equal to slope of VT graph, we know this acceleration is given by slope of VT graph. So what is the slope here? Therefore, a is equal to find slope, consider this point and this point. So for slope, what is this? How much is this? This divided by this will be the slope. So what is this value? V minus u. Then what is this? T minus 0. correct? T2 minus T1. T2 is T and T1 is 0. So this is V minus U by T minus 0. Or AT is equal to V minus U. Or V is equal to. So this is the first equation we got. ठीक है, पहला इक्वेशन लिए फिर ग्राफिकली डिराइव किया. सेकंड हमको क्या निकालना है? डिस्प्लेसमेंट. Now, from graph S क्या है? डिस्प्लेसमेंट. तो ग्राफ से डिस्प्लेसमेंट कैसे निकलता है? VT ग्राफ में एरिया निकालना होगा. ये क्या हो गया? So which is equal to area of. अभी let's name this A, B, C, D, E. Rectangle. क्या rectangle है? ABDE plus area of triangle BCD. What is area of rectangle ABD? अब rectangle क्या है? Length into breadth है ना, तो breadth है. So तुम ले सकते हो which is AB into BD. ठीक है, length into breadth AB into BD. करेक्ट. और ट्राइंगल का एरिया क्या होगा? हाफ बेस into हाइट. बेस क्या है? BD into हाइट क्या है? CD. ठीक है ना? एरिया ऑफ रेक्टेंगल समझा? लेंथ इनटू ब्रेड्थ. और वो क्या हो गया? हाफ बेस इनटू हाइट. शुड आई राइट द फॉर्मूला? एबी के ब्रेड्थ और ब्रेड्थ इनटू लेंथ व्हाटएवर. आई हैव रिटन फर्स्ट द ब्रेड्थ एंड देन यहां पे क्या होगा? हाफ इनटू बेस इनटू हाइट. ठीक है, ये कितना हो जाएगा? Now what is AB?
U minus 0.
Which is U. So this is U. What is BD? T. Okay. So you want to write U minus 0, T minus 0? Or UT is enough? What is the base here? T. And what is CD? B minus U. Correct? But what is B minus U? 80. So this is equal to T into 80. This is your equation 2. यहाँ पे कैसे हुआ? Since hence V minus U is equal to 80. लिख लिया? यहाँ तक लिख लो फिर आगे बढ़ाओ। समझ में आया ना कैसे किया? तो फिर ग्राफ से कर रहे हैं। तो ग्राफ के अंदर का जो एरिया है वीटी ग्राफ का वही तुमको क्या देता है? बस ये चीज याद रखो। स्कूल में कौन सा चैप्टर चल रहा है? Just for area of rectangle, you can write breadth into length. Okay? Because AB is the breadth, length is BD. Done? Now the last one. The last equation also involves displacement, right? So also S is equal to area of trapezium. What is it? A, B, C, D, E. So what is it? It is half sum of parallel sides into height. Okay. So if you take this as a trapezium, so height becomes BD then. And parallel sides are AB and EC. Substitute. So this is half. What is AB? U. And EC is, what is EC? V minus 0, that is V. And what is BD? T. Right? But what is T from here? V minus U by A. What is T?
V minus U.
So you can rearrange V plus U. Stands from 1. You can say from 1. From 1. T is equal to V minus U by A. So this is S. So this becomes which is equation 3. Okay. So graphically we have obtained all the 3 equations. That's it. This is all we have in this chapter. Just write this and then I'll take, if there is time, we'll take some numericals. So we were doing this graphical numericals ना, वो नहीं किया ना application type में. वहाँ पे अपने को समझ में आया कि application type में क्या क्या किया था हमने? What numericals we did in the last? When we discovered that we are yet to do these topics.
First and second.
Huh?
Third. First, second, and third.
First, second, and third from application type. Can the displacement be 0 unit distance not 0? कौन सा वाला है?
First, second, and fish 32.
So we did what is written? Can the displacement?
Not right here.
But how do you know? Achha, we just discussed. Okay. ठीक. So So have you written the third one? Little bit. So third one we were discussing, that's when I realized that it was not taught. So basically we have done only first and second. So we can go ahead now for our. But we have used these equations to solve questions, isn't it? We have used these equations to solve questions. Now we have derived it also. Okay? Okay, come to page 32. Now mention all this. Page 32, question 3. Okay, so tick mark. Page 32, question 3. What is the question?
State how the velocity time graph can be used to find the acceleration of the body, the distance traveled by the body in given time, and the displacement of the body in given time.
So how do you find the acceleration from VT graph? Here, slope of the VT graph. Then how do you find the distance traveled by the body in a given time? Area under the VT graph. How do you find displacement? Same. Okay, very good. 4.
The figure shows displacement time graphs of two objects A and B moving in a straight line. Which object is moving faster?
So displacement time graph में which graph is moving faster? A or B? किसका slope ज्यादा है?
A.
तो slope मतलब velocity. तो कौन सा फास्ट जा रहा है? A. हाँ या ना वैसा slope से बता. जिसका slope ज्यादा है वो slope displacement time में velocity है. तो जिसका velocity ज्यादा है वो फास्ट है. Fifth.
State the type of motion represented by the following sketches. In figure A and figure B, give one example of each motion. Uniform motion.
Which one? Oh, uniform motion.
Uniform acceleration.
Yes.
And acceleration due to gravity. It's one example. And B.
For downward motion. Acceleration due to gravity during downward motion.
And B is uniform, non-uniform deceleration.
Yes. So what is the example of non-uniform deceleration? motion of a car in a traffic or anything. Huh?
Draw velocity time graph for the free fall of a body under gravity, starting from rest. Take g is equal to 10 meters per second square.
So during free fall, what will happen?
Uniform acceleration.
Uniform acceleration means velocity will go on increasing from
Zero.
0. So how will you represent it on the graph? You have to find VT graph. Right? So what is the equation of motion? V is equal to U plus ET, मतलब GT लिखना पड़ेगा, ठीक है? तो plot various value, U is equal to 0, है ना? ये तुम्हारा रिलेशन मिल गया V और G में, तो V तुम्हारा ये होगा X वैल्यू, X पे क्या रखोगे? T और Y पे क्या आएगा? V. तो T जब भी 0 है तो V कितना आ गया? T0 V0, T1 what will be V? 10, 2 पे कितना होगा? 20, 3 पे कितना होगा? 40. ये 3-4 वैल्यू लेके ग्राफ बनाओ. So V you can put on the y-axis starting with 10, 20, 40 और इसको 0 से लेके 1, 2 like that. Okay, so you'll get a straight line. Right, so what question is this? Question number? This is question 6. 7th question करें?
A body rises vertically up to a height of 125 meters in 5 seconds, then come back to the point of projection.
So एक question answer. What is the total distance traveled?
250 meters.
Very good. Total displacement?
0.
0. Average speed and average velocity?
25 meters. And average velocity is 0.
Wonderful. ठीक है? You understood. 25 क्यों बोला तूने? 250 divided by
50 divided by 10.
5 plus 5, है ना? Good. So you have to write full steps. You don't have to write just the. Okay, next.
A train first travels for 30 minutes with a velocity 30 kilometers per hour, and then for 40 minutes with a velocity 40 kilometers per hour in the same direction. Calculate the total distance traveled and the average velocity of the train.
Can you do that? First make the unit same. So such question you should draw schematic diagram. एक लाइन बना के डायग्राम बनाओ फिर निकाल लो उसको. So first 30 minutes, next 40 minutes. First 30 minutes में कैसे चल रहा था वो?
50 kilometers.
30 किलोमीटर पर आवर. फिर नेक्स्ट 40 मिनट्स किससे चला 40 किलोमीटर। ठीक है, तो आवर में कितना हो जाएगा
1/2 hours।
ये हो जाएगा 70/60। ठीक है, टाइम तुमने ले लिया, ये हो गया D1, ये हो गया T2, ये हो गया V1, ये हो गया V2। तो तुमको टोटल डिस्टेंस निकालना है, कितना आ जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा V1 T1, है ना। डिस्टेंस इज स्पीड इनटू टाइम, 30 ये हो गया 15, 40 2 3 6। जो भी आता निकाल लो उसको। ठीक है, तो इतना मीटर आएगा। बाकी एवरेज वेलोसिटी के लिए टोटल डिस्टेंस अपॉन टोटल टाइम। ठीक है, जो इसमें आएगा वो डिवाइड बाय टोटल टाइम। ठीक, इसमें डिस्कस